Alright, Kerbal Knots, welcome back. So last time we flew a couple simple rockets, got some science points, unlocked some science nodes. Here we are on our science tree. And I do believe the next node we're going to go for here, we need 5 more science points. We're going to go for aviation and build a little rover. This is a Scott Manley trick that I learned from his YouTube channel. But actually, we only need like 5 more science points for this, so we don't even need to launch a rocket for that. We're going to come over here to the space plane hangar, and we're just going to make a simple little ship here that's going to get us some more science points. So I'm going to do a little command pod, and rather than have it be on its side, you can see this is made for making planes, so everything's going to default to being on its side. I'm going to click on the part here, and I'm going to hit the W key to turn it upside down, or not upside down, but turn it off of its side and turn it right side up. And right below it, I'm going to put a Science Junior, and again have to put the W key to get things going the right way there. And I'm going to attach with some symmetry mode. Actually, don't need symmetry mode. I only need one of them, and I'm not launching this thing, so I'm just going to put one of them on there. There we go. And I'm not even going to bother naming this. We're just going to go ahead and go to the runway with this. And of course, we're not going to go anywhere, but since we're on the runway instead of the launch pad, we'll get science points for this location because this is a completely new location according to Kerbal. It's a completely different biome. So I'm going to sit here in the pod, I'm going to do a crew report, blah blah blah, reporting on the runway, not a lot of traffic. That's good. I'm going to do an EVA. Let's see if we can get an EVA report. Nope, already done this one. So this still counts as flying over Kerbal shores, so we're not going to get any EVA points for that one. But I'll go back inside, observe the mystery goo, and that's worth 3 science points. And observe the Science Junior, and that's worth 7.5 science points. So now we should have enough to unlock our next little tech tree item. And there we go. We're up to 52 science now. So we got 12 science from that mission. Got most of our money back from that vessel. And we're going to go down here to the tech tree, and we're going to unlock this aviation node for 45 points. You see we get all these cool little parts here to make wings and landing gear and jet engines, all kinds of cool stuff. So we're going to go ahead and unlock that. And now we're going to make a little science rover. We're going to go back to the space plane hangar. Back at the space plane hangar here, we're going to just get rid of all this and start over again. So we're going to put in, I think I ought to use the, no, I'll just stick with my original idea here. I was thinking about using the Mark I cockpit, but it's kind of expensive and I don't think you recover the full points or the full monetary value. So I'm going to stick a liquid fuel engine on here. If I can get it to, there we go, get it to attach. Going to put a jet engine on the back here. There we go, there's a jet engine. And because it's a jet engine, we need to have an air intake. So under the aerodynamics tab, there is a part called the radial air intake. So we're going to click on that. And we're going to attach that onto our ship right about there. And, oh, I forgot the Science Junior. Let's take that stuff off for right now. We're going to put the Science Junior module on there. Put the engine back on. And we're going to put a little mystery goo container right about there. And hopefully my Kerbal can get to that. We're going to attach some landing gear. Or rotate it around so it's facing the right direction. I'm going to do the angle snap. So it's right in the middle. So we got that on the front. The tricky part here is using the correct keys to flip this around the right direction. So the WASD, Q, and E keys, you just got to kind of play around with these a little bit until you get the part in the right orientation here. That's definitely not it. Might as well turn on symmetry mode. Yeah. Still working at it. Nope. Yep, having a hard time with this. There we go. That should work. Yeah, it'll work fine. I could probably move them up a little higher. There we go. Not so high off the ground now. Alright, so here's our little science pod. And we're going to use this to just kind of tool around the base. We'll just call this the Kerbal rover. Rover, not rover. There we go. Kerbal rover. And we're going to put a scientist in here, because remember, the scientist can reset different parts for the experiments. He can reset experiments. And we're going to launch. So here we are. We're on the launch pad. We got our little jet-powered ship rolling backwards. We're going to put on the brakes. Just going to click up here at the very top where it says brakes, and that'll get me to a stop there so I don't keep rolling backwards off the runway. I'm going to throttle down, use the control key to turn the throttle way down. You can see I'm hitting shift and control the throttle on the side of the nav ball in the bottom center of the screen. Don't really need a whole lot of throttle here. So I'm going to start my engine, turn off the brakes, get going here a little bit, but immediately throttle all the way back down, because I don't really want to go faster than about 10 meters per second. I'm going to start cruising. Just cruising right along. And we can time accelerate a bit here as we drive over towards the Kerbal Space Center. We'll head for this first building, which I believe is the administration building. Probably gonna need to throttle up a little bit here to make it up this hill. There we go. Cut the engines, turn on the brakes, come to a stop, and here we are at our first stop. And I'm going to observe the Science Junior. Gonna get 7.5 points because I'm here at administration. Going to observe the mystery goo. Gonna get another 3 points from that. Gonna take a crew report. And I'm gonna EVA. And I'm not gonna get any extra points for an EVA report here because I'm still flying over Kerbal shores. So you can see there on that window, I'm still flying over Kerbal shores, so I can reset that one. And I am going to collect the data from the Science Junior by right-clicking, clicking Collect Data. Then I'm going to restore the Science Junior so that I can use it again. And I'm going to do the same thing on the Mystery Goo. Going to remove the data and restore. Then I'm going to take data and store experiments inside the pod. And then I'm going to carefully grab back onto the ladder with the F key and use the B key to board back inside. And off I go to my next stop. I'm going to go up here to the astronaut complex. So throttle up the engine a bit, get going, cruising along, turn on the brakes. Here I am at the next biome, and all over again. Oh, this one's actually from just the KSC in general. So I found an extra one that I hadn't even noticed before. So we'll collect that. Collect this one. EVA. Oh, I should turn off time acceleration. That was almost bad. Oh, don't fall off. Okay, there we go. Collect data, remove, restore. Collect data, remove, restore. And we're going to fast forward this, but you get the idea. Keep driving around, go to visit each and every building from the complex until you get as much science as you possibly can. Alright, so after a small minor mishap of trying to go a little too fast and trying to make a little too sharp of a turn, I think I'm all done collecting science now with my little science rover. So I'm going to go ahead and recover the vessel. And let's see how we did. Collected 72 science on that one, and there was actually another separate mission that I did before that one, which was the one that blew up. So didn't quite get, I think it's probably possible to get more than that. Not exactly sure. Haven't done the math on it. But lots of different science reports from lots of different locations. So now we got plenty of science to go ahead and unlock some new tech nodes. So let's see what we got here. Alright, so we got basic science where I could have a unmanned probe going up into space with some batteries, a thermometer, a radiator panel, and a new antenna. I have some options for advanced rocketry. Got some general construction. This gives me the stability enhancer, which due to a glitch in the game might actually be the one that I want to do next. Having a little problem launching some stuff. Ooh, and I can unlock MechJeb. MechJeb is a mod that some people consider cheating. Real astronauts don't actually fly rockets by hand. They let computers do it. And the way the MechJeb mod works is once you unlock this module, you start gaining some abilities to automate some functions on your ship. And once you get high enough in the tech tree with those mods, you can actually have like an autopilot for launches and takeoffs, and it can automatically get into orbit for you and do all kinds of other crazy things. I don't consider it cheating. I think it's actually, something that real rockets use, and you got to get the science points to unlock it. So I think it's fair. So decisions. What are we going to go with? I think I'm going to go with the general construction, just because I was having a problem earlier with launching. There's some type of glitch in the game where when you build a rocket and you try to launch from the launch pad, it gets stuck. So we'll talk about that if that happens. But for right now, what I want to do is, one, I want to upgrade my launch pad so that I can have a slightly bigger ship. So I'm going to pay the $75,000 to upgrade the launch pad, and $150,000. Ooh, that's steep. What about this one? $75,000. I can perform an EVA. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that one. All right, so now let's see if we can build a rocket that will escape the atmosphere.